Good morning, everyone. Good day, whatever time it is over there. Let me get this going. So, day episode, whatever, 41, I believe. Um, Last couple times, we re-inspected the whole rig, fixed a bunch of things, took note of others, and I was pretty happy with it. And I was like, right, I can start streaming again. You know, it's caught back up to it. Did a video on learning mathematics and all of that. Then work hit like a ton of bricks. And now I had this sitting for a month without touching it. We'll see if I still remember what we were doing. Now, I do remember quite well that we were looking at fixing uh, the negative angle when the roll was going backwards. And I think that I had this to negative time for that. Is it? Probably 40 degrees, whatever. So let's start fixing that, because the last time I did all of the work to find out, to explain how to debug and how to look at maps, and then I did not actually fix the issue because that wasn't the point of the episode. Now, the other thing I have to remember is where my controls are. So let global control. I think we've been reasonably clean in dealing with this, so it should be okay. So yeah, that's forward. Whoa. Yeah. There you go. We can see the problem there. And I do need to set up some of my shortcuts. I always say that. I never do it. I'm a horrible person. Okay. So the problem we had is the foot roll there is fine, but then we're not signing the angle as we go out. And I did have the like global set to this, so I imagine that these will be the value that we want to fix. So 134, 16. Those are just the vectors. Okay. So we are getting the angle between or direction word matrix, those word matrix, so we're getting those two, and this is subtraction. So the dot product, and I know I discussed all of this last episode, but if you viewer on YouTube catching up to this series late might wonder why I'm still pondering the same issues, but a month between the episodes, not easy. So what we want to do is still what we say we would have done, which is the dot product between these, and the foot roll we actually solve in word space, which is very good for us because it means we can just use the global axis. So let us have a look at what we can do now. Vector operations, I don't even remember what they are. Do I have something as dot vector product? Yes, that will do us nicely. I don't even need that much really, because these angle, like if these get signed, all I need to see if this is greater than y, then I want to change the sign, and I might get away with, if this angle is signed, which I'm not 100% sure it is, so color true, color false. So if this is greater than y, this component is greater than y, greater than 0, if y is greater than 0, then I could negate the y in these, or negate one of the two axes and see if it changes the sign. I'm not sure it will, but we can certainly try. So equal, greater than, less than. So if it is greater than, and we want the y. Chat, I trust you to help me out if things make sense or not. So if 0.8, whatever it is, yeah. So what we're doing here, just for the people that have also been following and are therefore a month between episodes, in the math episode we concluded that the vector that we have from this issue that we have with the foot roll, where our foot roll done by the bones here is correct, whereas the output isn't, is because we're taking the vector between 1 and 2 joints, so this vector here, and measuring the angle between that and something else, which might be the y or whatever it is, transferring it, but that's not sine, so we always, no matter what we do, the angle that comes out is always positive, so we always get the foot rotating in the same direction, which is that way. So we want to sine that angle, that's what we're after. Now, if greater than, might be able to straight up, so that's the angle between. So if I had sine, cosine, and whatnot, this will be even easier. It will be all done on single attributes anyway. Vector 2. So we could even color if true. Let's see if that signs for us. So we're looking at the Z, which is fine. Let's see if it's signing the angle, like if it's signing the angle based on the axis, which will mean that it does a little bit of magic and maybe it shouldn't quite, but whatever. No? Show me all your attributes, because of course it's a product between vectors and I don't want to see the other vector. Nah, it's not doing any magic, which is, I'm okay with it. So the other thing we want to do is, what were we using to blend? Blend, know that if Day041, this should be blending angles. This is the trick we've been using to negate angles in so far. Don't need these. This can stay at 1 as it is. So what we do want, RGB, so the B is the one that carries our sign. Then of course it shows me input B and not input A, because why would I want both inputs? Who could ever possibly want that? And input A is what we're working to. I might need to change and swap that sign, but so let's see if this gets us what we want. Well, it hasn't flipped it here. Oh, really? You defy me. So rolled angle, weight A. Let's see, weight A. Okay, so it's not carrying through the way I would like it. Greater than, so it's always greater than? Is that what's going on? Yeah, it's always greater than. That's possibly the issue. Yep. So our logic is wrong here. What did I connect? So Tarsi word matrix, TOS word matrix. So when that one, so what I probably want is like, I don't have the luxury, like if I'm working in word space here, then I don't have the luxury of just looking at above 0. So what I want is the global Y for these to be greater than the global Y for that, I reckon. And that should get me what I need. So that's the heel, that's the tarsi. And this is the tarsi end. I should be able to work with these. Matrix sum. So when the Y for these is greater, I mean the direction doesn't matter all that much, then I'm sorry for that, then that, let's see, okay, so that gives us the right sign. We'll see if everything is in order still, but so there was some drift that we talked about as well, like we might need to look at that, but that's okay. So this is progress. Now when, okay, so when these is, when the Y of this in word, actually we can have, because we're solving the foot roll center word, is greater than that, I think, yep. Yeah, greater than. So when the Y of this is greater than that, which means when this is before the point where it crosses over that threshold where we want to negate the sign, then the term is 1, otherwise it's -1, and then we simply use that as a multiplier for the angle. So that seems okay to me. Now I'm gonna save this and I'm gonna go back. Maya never keeps my default project for some reason. I need to look at whether it's a setting. Oh wow. So it started from an old scene. Not loving these. I might have to redo this work. Like starting from, because I fixed a bunch of things. So we're starting from 1, 2. And what I want is Lego roll tarsi. So let me redo that work very quickly. Like figuring out the work we needed to do was, okay. Yeah, this makes more sense because I was quite positive I had that animation in place, because I don't remember all the fixes that we might have implemented. So let's redo that super quick. Sorry for that, but it doesn't seem like a crazy amount of wastage. Now, do not need that vector product. Do need a condition. Huh. Oh, I was like, that is not what I want. But it is. See? Okay, this is what I want. And what we were using was the tarsi here and the tarsi end here. And what we said is, let's say I did all of that on purpose on the wrong scene just so that I could offer this recap. Seems plausible. Absolutely not, probably, but whatever. So greater than, that gives us the sign for the angle. Blend DA, no, would have been too convenient. Blend node additive DA. then we said we're using db in all of these, and that you should please show us all of your attributes, because I want to use a for no reason other than some strange sense of need for order, where a happens before b, and if you only need one of the two, you use a. Damn it. Okay, that seems legit. Could have been worse. It could have been a worse mistake, or we could have realized much later. So that's done. That fix is done. The next thing we need to do, and I'm gonna be calling this a major version of the re-acknowledging the rig, though we're full on into fixing the rig at this point. Okay. We do have that. I remember, chat, help me out if you are listening, please. I remember there was some other issue that I spotted, and I don't remember if I fixed it. I remember some drifting maybe. Oh, there you go. So I reckon we need to fix that drifting. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe if I zoom in a little bit closer on that foot roll. Like, it's fine going back. But you can see this thing drifting here. Now, it's possible that there's more than just that. Let's misalign, because this looks like everything is going up. Like, this looks like it's misaligned as well. So we have to dig that up. It was the drifting. Yeah, thanks then. You are probably my most reliable viewer and spectator now that Ryan is dropping the ball because he has a job. He's apparently busy all the time, working. We miss you, Ryan. But Dan is better these days. So let's fix that. Did I also find out why it was happening? I suspect no. I think I focused on something else at that point. Now, I'm not gonna bother just ranting Twitter yet. All right. So, yeah, I gotta say, like, the fact that Ryan these days is working with Motion Builder and has found all these nuggets, all these delicacies in the Motion Builder API has made his Twitter feed a lot better. It's like if before it was like 50% sarcasm and 50% technical context, now there's a solid like 75% sarcasm and resentment. Now, let's be serious for 1 second. And I don't know if you can hear my daughter screaming in the background. Nappy change before childcare time. It's a dramatic moment. So I kind of hate this thing a little bit. It's so misleading. Like the fact that it's so slightly offset, I don't know what I was thinking. I think I just manipulated it into submission for the sake of seeing what was going on. Now tibia and tibia start. So having them is okay. Like they're not a bad idea. It's just the fact that they are offset that I don't crazily love. Whatever. I'm gonna fix that because it's bugging me and it's making it really hard to figure out what I'm doing. It just won't do. And I think we're instancing that, so probably I would expect, yeah, everything to move. Is it skiing or something? I now wonder. Or maybe I have the tool settings in an odd space. Pin show transfer. snapping. Very dangerous game to play. So we're very precise technical method, we're eyeballing it. I can leave with eyeballing these, but well, I could if Maya agreed that it was a good idea. I could also snap the hell out of it, but or use the align tools, but that would be too easy. That would be cheating. So I think we're off by the tiniest amount. And okay. Yeah, that's fine. It's enough time spent moving points for a rigging string. So I am okay with that. It was just it's not a good idea to have misleading things in your rig, especially when you're trying to debug. It just isn't. Now, so this seems approximately correct. Let's see where that drift comes from. So on the back, we seem more or less correct. On the fore, we're not. And I would say that this is already looking like it's going out of whack. So that joint there. Oh, I'm in guide mode. Tell you what, I am in guide mode. That would be interesting. It's not impossible that it is a consequence of the guide mode. So I think we left the guide tools in the guidable state of the rig in a respectable state. And might as well try it. So I did save a version right now. Now I have foot R, leg R, so I've already deleted the other side at this point as we're acknowledging the rig. So let me check super quick. I think that's the next step. So this is definitely a debugging and fixing kind of stream. It is some modeling and some debugging, which I don't mind. But I really want to finish this season and do something completely different for the next. So yeah, I think that the deguiding might do it, and I think I loaded that plugin this time around. I was not a complete dummy. So I want to deguide. Did I support? I don't remember if I supported multiple selections in the end, but it doesn't matter. So I deguided the leg global. Deguide the leg. This is from the leg global, so it should be okay. And I probably need to deguide the foot. So that is leaving the foot roll anchored in FK. So my guess is that, let's see. Yeah, FKIK blend is set to FK. That doesn't look like it's drifting, so it could have been a consequence of the fact that we were in FK or of the guide, but that makes me very happy actually. Is that it? Yeah, it seems pretty solid. It seems locked in. I reckon I can work with that. A non-bug, the best kind of bug. So, do I trust the guiding process? I mean, I think we're reasonably forward with it. Live dangerously. Let's reactivate the guides as they are. So that's the foot. That's the leg global reactivate. That is the leg component. I need to add some logging or something like that to that script. I know. So this is guided. Let's see if it still happens. Because I did switch. Yeah, I did switch to IK. So it's not a consequence of the consequence of the FK. It's a consequence of animating while in guided mode. Like if we wanted to be super thorough, I guess we probably could fix it. So I expect people to guide in the default position. Like you guide the rest state of what you're doing. You normally don't animate the guided rig. Like it complicates things a lot. Oh, a big drama to leave the house. It's a terrible life. I wish somebody would cart me around in a pram instead of me having to walk everywhere and do my own stuff. Children don't realize how good they have it. So, I think that we want to conform these items, name them sensibly, and that puts an end to the foot. Didn't take us very long, so that means that we can look at duplicating whatever we have. If anybody in chat remembers if we had any other issues that I should be looking at, please save me, remind me, because I don't remember having anything else. We might spot new ones. Doesn't, you know, what we have doesn't necessarily mean that we're completely, you know, out of the woods, but it'd be cool if we were. So this is the Darcy sign. So that's cool. And this is so this is still the rolled angle, but it's sine. And I bet you that, no, I was about to say, I bet you that I misnamed that typo in there or something. The other thing that happened, I was away for work for a while. I didn't have my keyboard, and coming back to a split after having used a bad keyboard for a while, dexterity isn't 100% there yet. So that's done. We need to componentize these things, and that should be it. So like global, I am also content with our naming conventions and the work we've done in these regards. I think they are helping. So the global container, now move these in the container so they're containered. They don't need to be connected to guiding, de-guiding, because these affect the output. They're named. I don't remember if I had anything else in the manual conform steps. Tempted to say no, save in place, live dangerously. So, chat, help me out. Otherwise, I am... Did we have... No, we didn't have anything weird with the vector. I think there was something where I needed to guide it properly, like it wasn't responding the way I expected it to, but I fixed it, and maybe it was only on one leg and not on the other. It might be that we're at the point where it just because it might be going horribly wrong. I only need to duplicate components in the right order, export them and duplicate them. And I wish I'd written a small script for that, because I've done it manually a number of times at this point. So, do I feel brave? Now, the order of our dependencies, I will say that we probably want to export and re-import in the order of dependency of our components. And I am pretty sure that the way we do things is the leg global going to the leg, Then we will have the God node going into the leg global, but that doesn't need to be duplicated. Then what goes in the foot? Is it just the leg, or both the leg and the leg global, I reckon? It's an incredibly complex rig. And that's it, isn't it? Yeah, I think we can live with that. Yep, I'm gonna go with that. Now, the other thing I'm interested in is having... I don't want to spoil this beautiful arrangement, but I also want to make triple sure that I don't have anything stupid between... And I shouldn't be this paranoid, because like I've done this before with good results, but for some reason I am. So leg global input and got node output is what I desire. Let's make sure everything is as I expected. So from the God node, we're not using anything other than the output master for the leg global. The guiding is in place. Yep, I'll try it. Enough pondering. So leg global container. Okay, that happened. I am not entirely sure. State andando? What have I done? Bye bye. Cosa ha fatto? All right. So, what have I done? How have I reset all of these? Because the right click on my Wacom pooped itself. What is going on? Show objects. Is it I did not invert shown? Okay. So I must have right clicked the invert shown because I have a subset to avoid having a million useless things in there. Now, I was saying I am seeing a lot of flickering stuff that worries me some. The filtering is not quite doing what I would have expected it to do, but anyway. I'm definitely saving a new version for the next save. Did I delete something? That, okay. I am very confused by these. What is going on? Sorry for the silence here, but I'm not entirely sure what is going on with these. I saved... I'm gonna reload the previous scene, because all we were doing was inspecting anyway. And 2-1, 2-1. Actually, let me save these. My terror there is that I might have destroyed something like global container, like global R container. So we hid the other components here. And I think we could delete those. In fact, I think we should. Because we could fix things in parallel, but I want to test the component IO. So let's do that as a new major version. Actually, let's change it entirely. So that's the 13th major milestone. And it is going to be component reassembly. Sure. Now, leg level L, we want to get rid. See these like, ciao. Ciao. This is okay. This is my right click in this menu. I don't know if you can see it just flickers for a bit and then it does something really weird and my stuff disappears. And this is not glorious. I did not sign up for this. I thought it was the Wacom, but it's happening with my mouse as well. This is very upsetting. And the filter isn't working anymore. What is going on? I do not like this one bit. I'm gonna close my end because restarting software always fixes everything. It's taking a while even to close despite the fact that I have no plugins or anything loaded. Okay. Very exciting, waiting for Maya to start. Oh, I had the output window on the other desktop. Maybe I should have looked at what the output windows was saying. But see, it's this is maddening. Like, this is not good. At all. I need to figure out what that is, but for now I have to live with it for the sake of the stream. I'm wondering how I can get the things I need now. So leg L can, if I cannot right click, it's, and I don't know if you can see it, it's unless you're in 1440p, it's gonna be super tiny. It's basically stuck in right click mode. There's in this view. Whenever I am, oh, okay. Yeah. You can see the cursor change into the right click one when I go to the outliner. No. So what happens if I undock you? Still messed up. Good lord. That is... This is a horrifying bug. No. Okay. Sorry for this. Like, this is taking too long. I don't like this. The show must go on. Okay. So I need to get rid of the leg L container. I might need to use the infamous asset window. Oh, it's in right click mode here as well. Oh, good God. There's, come on, reboot. I don't know if a reboot will fix it. I don't want to reboot midstream, to be honest. Has anybody, like, this is insane. Like, how can it think? Like, this is the delete your preferences kind of thing, I reckon. Okay. So I can use commands for a little bit. Select asset content. So the component root itself is in there. In fact, if I remember right, if I delete the container, it should get rid of all the contents as well. Yeah, that's very good. So let me reload that scene again. Let global L. And yep, blasted it away. That's good. So, and in the viewport, changing tools, move rotate scale, some kind of gives it a kick in the pants. So this icon specifically is the one that you get when you change options in the tool settings or something like that, isn't it? Because it's right-clicking fine mostly everywhere, but the outliner has decided it hates me. I could probably... Oh, come on. Yeah, I could probably use the right click in the node editor. The node editor isn't exactly the same thing, but it's okay. I can get by until the end of the stream with that. Let global. Like, it's been a long time of complaining about that. Let's just do stuff instead. So Windows asset editor. It is a like really nasty bug, and I try not to swear on stream, but like this one tested me. So if I select, like, this is what we want. If I select everything in the asset, we've done these several times before, plus the asset container itself. I was hoping a modifier key would have saved me there. And export that. Export selection. Now, don't care for anything to be preserved. You pretty much want the simplest possible export, like references, doesn't really matter, we have none. Don't include any inputs, it should get everything we want. So, then, pardon me, components, let global v2, so this is where we're saving the components inside the scenes. Let global v3. Now it's not, we're not namespacing. We will want to rename everything. It's one of those things where, you know, again, you go like, ah, maybe I should have had a script. I think the last time I did write a quick script to do it, but anyway, it doesn't matter. So let's re-import that and hook it up. The name doesn't really matter just yet. We're okay with that. Import let global v3. Now, it has not messed with our graph because we're wise and we have a new tab open. Go as. Whenever you import, like, close the node editor or open a new tab, because large imports will mess your tabs if you have any you care of. And generally speaking, I've had it crash Maya because import is hard. I don't know, it might be that it creates too many nodes, it hits Qt too hard, whatever. Not on such simple things though. Now, that to change like global. Oh, okay, so in my import already had the two, like the dummy namespace. That's good. Do I want to change that? Probably. And it would have brought these there. So reordering with the middle click works. That is very good. Small victories. Let global or no, I take it back. It didn't reorder anything. Anyway, it's one of those days. So where is the renamer, which I never use and always forget about? I thought it was in edit. modify then. Evaluate, no, search and replace names. So it did not, this one did not deal with the namespace, I remember vaguely. So the other thing we want to do, like the stream started well, it just got downright boring even for me at this point. But we do what we must. Oops, no, I did not want that. Stop hating me, Maya. Let global. Oh man. Okay, global R container assets. Select everything, please. Thank you, and let these work. So let global R for all selected to let global L. I could do it later, but it gets pretty confusing. So replace that is good, and it also de-namespace everything. Because why not? I forgot about that one. So that is another one done. Now the things we need to, no, don't do that. Don't do that, Maya. The things we need to look at is, for the leg global, do we have a scaling attribute? So in the config parameters, maybe visibility. I don't remember if in the leg global we supported. No, the leg global we kept word space, so it doesn't need scaling of anything. That's good. Oh, wow. So that is interesting, because yeah, not everything contains leg global, so that's fair enough. We can just remove that namespace. Let me save a minor for these. We're getting there. That right click bug is like, throw me for a loop. So delete, merge with root. We should be okay. We don't need much more than that. Now the guide, the global control for the guide, we should be able to simply do that. Now I fully expect the guiding to come in the same state. So there's a minimum length or something like that, which, you know, that's okay. Past a certain point, this doesn't behave. Oh no, never mind, it was just off plan. I was about to say that seems okay for a length, but we might have numerical issues. We don't, that's very good. So that's pretty much it with just. And I need to stop saying just, because nothing is ever, well, nothing is ever just. Sounds somewhat philosophical. That's not the point I was trying to make, but nothing should be underestimated, especially when Maya's decided that anything you click is gonna be, anything you right click is gonna do weird stuff. So let global input and output master is what we want. We might have an offset matrix to fix. I am okay with that. I think we can cope. Now I don't particularly feel the need to have everything else in there, so let me clean these up. Nope. Okay. And what I said is, okay. What I said is that I want the word matrix from the output here to be not global input. Well, that is not quite what I expected. Don't like the name. Need to look at it, but not right now. So that was already working with, there's the offset must be baked in. Let's make sure that is fine. Now in guided mode, that's gonna be taken over. Don't love that kind of thing, like going to the end word. It's not a good name. I'll need to look at it. Just should be a banned word. Yeah, just is a pretty bad word. So where are we at? Yeah, we're only like, let me see, recording time 50 minutes. I reckon I can go for a little bit. Relatively short stream, maybe not an hour and a half or something like that, but we fixed the foot, we had a non-issue with the roll, so I can live with that. Now I want to check that the de-guiding for these works as expected. Come on, do me a solid work. Well, can't find the plugin, that's fair enough. I did restart Maya. Which means I need to reload the plugin. So swappy, and what colors are we using for what? Oh, but the leg global is center word by design. So not loving these. I reckon these now it makes sense actually. Sorry, that's for the foot roll. I was looking at the wrong things because this is moving. Okay, no, I take it back. Everything is fine. And swap back in. Make sure it still works. Cool. So that's not too bad. If anybody has questions, I mean, the next few minutes is going to be doing the same for the leg and making sure it works. Please ask away, because I don't think the next 5 minutes are going to be exciting. But that is the rig rebuild once we have the leg proper and the foot. The foot might grieve us a bit. But even then, we'll see. So I'm wondering if it's got something to do with the Wacom, but nah, it doesn't matter. The Wacom is too dangerous now. So next step, rinse and repeat for the leg. The leg, I have a leg L. I wonder how much work I had done on it. I am not gonna trust it. I'm gonna get rid of it. I am sorry, it's been great knowing you, leg L of old, but you cannot be trusted. And what is going through my mind, by the way, since I have to try and be entertaining for a few these days, is like, what do I want to do for the next season? Originally, like, I was always thinking, you know, season 2, and I do regret the pilot season being the pilot season instead of season 1. I always thought the second season would have been a spine, but I'm now kind of not sure if I want to do a spine for the second season or something more programmery or deformation. I am very torn. So, like, yeah, if you're watching these on YouTube, leave a comment. Even if at this point I don't know how many viewers the video will have retained. And if you're in chat on Twitch, you actually matter twice as much. Spine, please. Spines are pretty important. I reckon the spine is the signature of a rigger. So, leg arc, container, it's what I want. I'm going at slot pace here, which I don't love, but It is what it is. Like when Maya throws you for a loop, you become hesitant and afraid. So seems legit, seems to have everything in it and everything to be in it. I don't know. I mean, I'm quite positive I can get pretty far with Vanilla Maya to get a spine. Bernstein polynomials. Arclane parametrization. Nah. Nah. Gotta be. Anyway, sorry. Let me get these done. Yeah. So, what am I exporting? The leg. I suspect that the leg was actually fine. But who knows? So this should be the negatively scaled leg, the one that's reflected, mirrored, whatever you want to call it. The one we'll bring in will come in the same spot, and will need to be positively scaled. So it'll be a flag to change. I am keen to see how that works out. Why Bernstein polynomials on a spine? Like I'm not 100% sure if you were joking or if you're looking into the subject. So import options. Yeah, I like what we have. Cool. Now, and it's also, sorry, a little bit of silence because I was trying to remember what I wanted to do here. It's good to be streaming again, I gotta be honest. I was missing this. It is not because I got bored that I haven't been streaming as much in the last few, well, actually in the last month in Spirit Change. Or before. I wish I could stream a lot more, in fact. It's life. And who would have known having a young daughter is actually a lot of work? Did not expect that. Nobody knew. So, leg art container is what I want to rename. All my precious ordering has been messed up, but that is what it is. It'd be tongue-in-cheek. You probably don't want to stream it, but the spine curves and their output. Anyway, now to change leg art container, I want you, and I want the container itself, and I would love to change your name. Thank you. You have been great. Now, as expected, we have a couple stragglers, namespace wise. We are okay with that as well. So the last thing to do is delete these, merge with root, save the scene, because I am now frightful and panicked, and see what we get for the guide. So, tool parameters. Hey. Hello, gas 123. 123 gas 321. And that's a very old school kind of naming. It's very IRC. I like it. Now, buffer, that's all good. That's the tool parameters, which we don't care about. That's just to keep track of things. In the guiding, like Sorry, I'm sure I have a negative scale thing. Tell me I did not put it in the anim parameters or something stupid like that. Config parameters. Okay, inverted handedness, good name, go as, that is the correct name. So if I switch that, also liking these, the fact that it's already gone to the right spot. Now that is not done, but it shows that things changed. So the next thing to do is moving the guide around. Oh, how I hate this aim constraint. It bothers me so. Oh, it's in FK mode. Sorry, it's in... No, it's in IK mode. And I think the guiding should be in IK mode. Should it be? You can always change it. Let's see what happens. It's okay. Something is happening there. I'm okay with that. I am perfectly fine with that. And I think this is being aimed between two items, so we'll see. Now 0429, 0429, so that's fine. The part. So there's some part of it in the guiding that must be receiving from the leg global. Cheers. Thank you. It's always good to see people coming in on the stream. Now, I'm pretty sure that I must be, like, if it's doing that, I must be basing it on external input so that the guiding is simpler. That will make sense. It is the kind of stuff I will be doing normally. So what we do here is look at the input for the other one, maybe with a sensible width, and it is receiving from output end. So that makes sense. Now, why not? Why not keep these at hand, useful as it is, as a model, and see what happens if we fix things live. This is one of the things I like about having live guides, like build scripts. I don't know how people do it. I've done it. I've written entire APIs to facilitate it. But it is not the 80s and 90s anymore. The 80s and 90s want their build scripts back. The notes and 2010s and beyond should be everything live. So that's not nothing useful, but that's not surprising. A vector word, RC angle, rolled ankle. So these should be, like, I would expect these to be angles, angular values more than anything, but we still need to hook it up anyway, so we might as well start from that. Start from known factors first, and then observe if anything is off. Now, rolled ankle to row ankle control. It's not an amazing name, but it's not completely nonsensical either. Oh no, okay, rolled ankle to rolled ankle. I don't know why I was misreading that. Row ankle control to row ankle control. So it's 1-to-1, which is also not great, but it is fine. Up vector word to up vector frame. Whoa! Alright. That is good. Sorry, that was unjustifiably exciting. Excited. Okay, so the FK is out of whack, which I can live with. Like, we can figure out what is going on with that and fix it. Might be good material for the next stream. I wouldn't mind streaming tomorrow, actually. YouTube people, if you're still watching these, remember, tell me what you want for season 3. Spine, deformation, programmery, optimization stuff. Your input counts. And if you want it to count even more, come and attend the streams. Keep me company. Anyway, so I'm pretty happy with that. Now, I'm not thrilled that the FK isn't responding yet. But don't trust things that work first go. So in a way, it's almost better if something is slightly broken for peace of mind. Peace of mind. So legal. I'm reorienting myself for a second. There's nothing. Okay, the switch is not buzzing, which is very good. The duplication and setting, I would expect to do in guided mode as I did, so if it doesn't work out in guided mode, I'm not happy with that and I want to fix it. Oh, never mind. Inverted handedness was still on. So it did work first go, so I am now disquieted by things working first go. Even the foot aligned itself, didn't it? No, the foot didn't. Okay, we do have something to fix. Maybe. Spine sound great. Yeah, Twitch is overwhelmingly for spine, and Twitch matters a lot. So it might be the original plan for a spine. Nothing wrong with it, is there? And the whole vanilla Maya only thing, at some point, like that's gotta give. Like there's only so much you can do and keep interesting. But I think we can get most of a non-length preserving spine done pretty optimally with just vanilla Maya. Anyway, so oops, sorry, I gotta take these. Wait. Dimmi. Sì, quello grigio. Sì. Sì, ci sono anche le chiavi del BMW qua dentro. Ok, c'è una reference letter in una busta scritta da, sì, tu, Dr. Angus Bucket, eccetera, One Tablet Daily. Ok, ti faccio una foto col cellulare, te la mando subito. Sì, tranqui, faccio subito. Faccio subito. Prego, ciao. Va bene, ok. Sì, va bene. Ciao. All right, sorry about that. Wife needed help super quickly with something, and the stream is important to me, but wife still takes precedence. Happy wife, happy life. Now, that also knocked me for a loop a little bit. So the FK worked good to some extent. The foot FK, not great, also good because it gives me something to do. And audio still good? Yeah, I think I got everything back on as it should be. So let's try and de-guide these and see if it still works, and then I reckon we can call it. If we have any questions, now will be a great time to ask them. The guide. So the FK, oh, it would have, yeah, it has not duplicated the function curves actually, which is very good. I'm very happy with that. So the leg global in the control should have any parameters. There's a few things I would like to add. I might do an episode, like a bonus episode, where I just go over things like proxy attributes and so on and see if they work out. So the role is working stupendously. I mean, it's hard to tell from just the 3 little boxes, but the orientation is also right, which means that the output is transformed correctly. That I might need to look at. No, that's correct. So we're rolling from center angle, which is correct. Like the offset roll, it's something that where the roll like basically always works around here. It's something that animators don't love in my experience, so I'm okay with these. Now the next thing to check will be the IKFK blending, especially with these being duplicated. So see if that is odd in any way. And I do think I have snap. Yeah, which is not a huge deal, but whatever. So the foot is off, but I'm okay with that. I can live with that. Not permanently, but so it is in FK. Oh, and the blending is curvilinear, so that's the second excited woo of the day. Okay, I thought it would have been on IK. But it doesn't really matter. So I'm actually quite, I should have noticed actually that the bones were in FK. I'm actually quite happy with that outcome. I think it puts us in a good place. So, and I suspect that it's de-guided now. Yes. So let me re-guide it. I could keep hitting undo, but why test my luck? So save, thank you. Yeah, that's working, cool. All right, I am gonna be watching out for questions for another few moments while I have an extremely quick look at what is going up, like what is going on with these, and then fixing that, getting the foot hooked up is gonna be for the next stream, hopefully tomorrow. And that pretty much concludes the rig. Like, I mean, at that point we'll want to bind it, even if coarsely, and maybe have somebody produce some animation for us. See if anybody's willing to do it. Like when I started like 3 streams ago, going like, look, I'm gonna reacquaint myself with the rig, want to clean it up, share it so that people can get it. Like we're doing all of these to share the scene, so I'm glad to see that things are almost at the point where I can share the scene again because it's in a good condition. I know people like it. I know it helps when you can follow by looking at the scene if you haven't been following episode by episode, recreating it. So that's gonna happen soon. -1, so this is somehow preserving. -1 is actually not necessarily bad. Like, this is still a right-handed matrix. Its handedness hasn't changed. Because if you negate 2 axes, the handedness doesn't change. Now, what I wonder, so this is -1, which is probably to compensate the handedness of something above it. That was to, oh, that's to, Hmm. Okay. I don't want to like it's the, the TD me wants to just go like, oh, okay, I think I know what the problem is. I want to fix it. No, gonna be next stream. Gotta stick to the plan. And this is an hour and 50 minutes. I reckon it's long enough as it is. Do we have any questions? I don't think so. It seems chat was like lots of viewership for being, random early in the week stream. That's great. Thanks a lot everybody for coming. But it doesn't seem like there are questions, which is fair enough. I mean, at this point, this is mostly nodding, cleanup, and debugging. Next one we finish this thing, I reckon. Next one we fix this issue, which might be interesting. There might be a couple things to learn, like by looking at what we did for the handedness, so we might need to reanalyze that. And the foot might still have a few surprises. We'll see about that. Then we'll see if we get to do both of those things and the whole export import and hooking up all the input outputs in the next stream. I'd be pretty happy because that gets us a full puppet. If perchance we manage in like 40 minutes or less, then maybe we can start looking at the bindings, starting on the bindings. And way out of the loop to that's okay. It's like if nobody has questions and you need to ask something else not related to necessarily this stream, that's also usually okay. But I'm gonna keep this to an hour and 15. Thanks everybody for attending. It's a shame that Maya's decided to get stuck on the right click. I'm gonna look at these. I'm gonna start saving and dissecting, like reboot, classic Windows trick. But I have a feeling that this is gonna be something to do with the preferences. I had never deleted my Maya preferences on this box in a long time, like through several Mayas and all of that. So yeah, that cost us like maybe some 15-20 minutes, but other than that, pretty happy with this. Thanks everybody for watching. Thank you particularly everybody on stream for the company in the chat. You're amazing. And I might see you tomorrow. If not, I will see you at the next stream, whenever that is. Have a good day, everybody.